Welcome everyone to the very first NerdHub podcast. I am Mrs. Nesbitt and I'm joined here today by Ash and Glas. Say hello both.
Alright. Hello.
Hello Glas.
How are we all doing?
I think we're all doing pretty well. We were laughing quite a lot before I hit record thanks to Ash's rendition of certain characters out of a game.
His name is Heimska.
Heimska. Right, okay.
My name is Talos man from
Talos man
Skyrim.
from Skyrim. Yes, okay.
Stop being so serious now that it started, Ash.
I know!
Excuse?
Do you want to give us a rendition of Talos man?
We all know him well. And we know him as praise the mighty Talos! We have the maggots that are hiding in the filth of our own corruption. That's basically what he says. It's a few more things. In the background.
He'll probably do some throughout the cast. We're gonna aim for about. We'll see where the night takes us. But thank you for tuning in anyway. Right. Okay. So we're gonna jump straight into a game all three of us have been actively playing for many years.
Dragon Age.
No, not Dragon Age. Skyrim Special Edition, which I should hope you've viewed of anyway. But
I believe it's called RuneScape Reborn.
So, Ash Glas, what sort of reservations did you have when Bethesda announced the special edition?
I don't know why Skyrim and not like Morrowind or Oblivion.
Well,
Because it's easy.
Least effort.
Because it's easy.
Because
Biggest reward.
I mean, Oblivion would have made sense because I think it was the 10-year anniversary this year. But apparently it's not as easy.
Oh yeah, it would have been
Really
they couldn't have given it out for free.
No,
you know?
And they'd have to redone mostly everything because in Skyrim all they've done is update the lighting engine, to put into a 64-bit engine.
Yeah.
So it's
Modded it.
Basically put some mods on it. Put it in
Right,
different,
yeah, we're gonna jump
engine.
straight into that because.
Bring it up. It has
Let's
to be...
just start. Let's just start mods.
No, you have to bring up the drinking game, Louise.
Okay, so me and Glas, us three usually chat on Discord while playing Skyrim, and you know we could just be chatting with a storyline, whatever. And Ash, every 2 seconds, mod this, mod that. Oh, there's a mod for that. So we.
You're trying to defend it now.
Glas came up with a drinking game. Any mod-related talk that Ash mentions has to.
Okay.
You have to take
The
a drink.
actual rules are: if he says that would be better modded, or complains about either the graphics or the lighting, or says I can't wait until the EMB comes out, that rule is no longer valid because the EMB's out.
In beta.
Yeah, I mean, there's a drink right there. Yeah, but there you go. You understand. It's like whenever he mentions that something can be improved in the game by either an EMB or a mod, you have to take a drink, and you'll be dead by the end of this podcast.
Yeah.
Even if this podcast is like 20 minutes long.
Your liver will probably implode. So
And
please don't drink.
I played like original Skyrim for probably over 1,000 hours, and probably about 10 of them without mods. So a
Like
lot. I
10.
probably
There were more than 10 without mods, Ash.
all right. On the PC, there was probably about 10. I played it on
Yeah.
PS3 first, so I probably played a few hundred. Probably played the game through.
Okay, so with the special
Obviously.
edition out, how long did you last in vanilla mode?
Longer than I thought. I actually played 3 days
Okay.
just without mods, and then I got up to about 20 hours actually without mods. Probably more than 3 days because of work and such. But yeah, I got about 20 hours in without mods. Then I was like, I'm getting fed up with these bugs. I'll install the unofficial patch now. That's good.
So what's sort of the first mod you looked to install straight away?
Ordinator really, the perks mods. I never liked the original perk system in Skyrim, so Ordinator fixes in. It's one of the first perk mods to be introduced.
So what sort of difference does it make? So the
It
perk
lets
system.
him become the Rat King. Let's be real about this. It lets him become the Rat King.
For
Basically,
those
if
not
you have-
familiar with Rat King, could you explain that class, please?
I'll let Ash explain it.
Okay.
If you're interested in Dota 2 at all, there's a strategy called ratting, which is basically whittle down the enemy instead of fighting them, and so eventually you win. But it's the most annoying thing for all other 9 people to play with.
Congratulations, you just mentioned
arduous.
the least important part about the Rat King context. Just the Skyrim bit.
And the Skyrim part of it, then it translates over to that, where in the Alternator you can, through summoning or conjuration, you can play where you just go into combat and you summon a bunch of Skeever, and they just come and fight for you. So that happens constantly. You can have like 8 or 9 of them at once.
So you become a puppet master, essentially.
I just wanted him to say the non-Dota related part, because you're fully entitled to be a Rat King without having to be a Dota 2 Rat King.
Yeah, but it translates through both.
I know.
Transcendent ability.
Wherever you get to your Rat Kingdom, we are not here to judge that.
Yeah, that's basically what Ordinate allows you to do. If you have a play style, like Glass, you wanted to go unarmed. In the original game, there's only one way of doing it, and that's like there's a certain enchantment you put in all your armor, and you have to like make a sheet, and it's like really annoying. In Ordinator, there's just there's a perk line, like a tree, that you can go up, and you can like increase your unarmed through that, and so you can kind of do it that way. It's a lot nicer, and there's plenty of other things you can do. So it's just
for listeners listening who have never played Skyrim on PC, what top 5 mods would you recommend for a newbie?
First one, unofficial patch. I think it's essential. I'm surprised they didn't actually hire the guys for the new game. It corrects tons of bugs, corrects meshes, and it just makes it a bit better. Another one, a really good one, is the relation dialogue overhaul. Like right now, that's one of the best dialogue overhaul mods. So that's really good. Surreal lighting is actually good, and that's available on all 3 platforms as well. It's on PS4, Xbox, and PC. And it doesn't change the lighting so much like a reshade or an EMB. It just increases vanilla lighting, so it's the contrast a bit higher. Lights are a bit lighter, and darks are actually dark, not just grey. So it's quite nice. And I recently got one called the Rebalanced Level Lists, which changes loot in a way. And there's another one called Moral Loot if you don't want to go through that. But the one I have changes how loot works. So if you go into like a chest at level 30, you will no longer find just like 2 gold and a lockpick or something. You'll find
that's useful.
But like enemies that are supposedly the same level as you, like level 30, really hard to take down, will no longer just have like an arrow and a steel sword on them. They may have like a ring that's worth a bit more, and it just level
is that similar to the perk in Fallout?
The scavenger perk.
Yes, I couldn't think of the name then.
Yeah, but it doesn't increase like gold. There's level lists in Skyrim. There's like pools of items that enemies take from, and it adds a few more and lets enemies take from different ones. Like a really high level dragon now will be able to drop like gems, whereas before it couldn't. Yeah. So it's like a bit of more of a reward for a hard kill, rather than just going, you killed an ancient dragon. Here's a white
2 gold and an iron arrow.
Hey, I needed that 2 gold for my Breeze Home kitchen.
You were on 218 before.
Loaded.
So was that 4 mods or 5? I lost count.
That was 4.
Okay.
The 5th one's up to you. One I've been using is the WICO, which is a character people and character overhaul. At the moment, it makes it's really good. It takes a lot of inspiration from Witcher. So so it kind of changes the way people look, some of the AI as well, so they're more likely to go inside if it's like raining. In the nighttime, more people light torches and such. It's just a bit of a nice increase, and it like changes the way people look, so everyone isn't as butt ugly.
Is that when the light rain hits and it soaks you through?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sucks it right through.
Right
You can
through.
also
Okay,
True Storms is pretty good as well.
Yeah. I would
What are you,
suggest
Glass?
it depends on what you're looking for in a mod. Like, if you're looking for a mod that affects the gameplay, then like a bunch of stuff Ash has mentioned are really good. An official Skyrim patch makes the game run smoother, which means it doesn't affect your immersion when like FPS won't drop as often, or those little bugs that kind of suck you out of the game you won't see as much. Ordinator is really good if you want to like completely change the way you play. You know, it's got completely different leveling systems. It affects so many things in little ways, and it
Yeah.
affects your play style. But one thing that hasn't really properly been touched on is graphics overhauls, which are a really big thing in many modders' minds. You know, you want to look at changing the game and making it look beautiful. Because like, if you're immersed into the gameplay, a real-looking green grass
God.
environment.
Okay, just to put
is,
this into context, listeners, Ash and Glas had a very in-depth argument, shall we say, about the grass colour that Ash had modded on his version. He's
Wasn't modded.
No, they're not. I don't know. No, which part of Skyrim?
It was
were you in?
it's in the Whiterun Hold,
Yeah.
and for some reason all the grass there is just brown. when I have my lighting mods on, it really highlights how brown everything is. But for some reason, Skyrim stuff is just plain brown for most of it, and like it could just all be
you
dead.
had a bit of an issue with this, yes?
Oh, I was being sarcastic.
It was hilarious though. But anyway, yeah, carry on. Sorry.
No. But yeah, about graphics mods, the reason I didn't name them is because I don't think they're essential, especially you have like lower end PCs that can't handle them.
Yeah.
The one to have right now is Reshade if you're on the PC. I can just change the lighting, the way colors work, and just make the game look a bit more vibrant, a bit sharper. That's what I'm using at the moment. True Storms again can increase, but Vivid Weathers will change the lighting system as well. There's already 2 texture packs, I think, out for the PC and probably the Xbox as well. Skyrim Flora Overhaul is great for that. It increases the size of the trees, density of the trees in certain places. It adds a lot more flowers around the place along with verdant, which increases grass density.
Okay.
And it just makes the game look a lot nicer.
Alright then, so a lot of mods out there, obviously. What sort of limitations have you hit so far?
Anything that needs a mod menu or like anything more complex, because it still needs the SKSE, the Skyrim Script Extender, and Sky UI, which needs Skyrim Script Extender. Until they are done, mods are going to be limited. Like, you won't see massive quest mods come out because they need those scripts.
Okay.
And they need to have a lot more things happen, and they need the SKSE for that.
Yeah.
And
You need something dedicated to organising.
That's not going to count for probably another couple of weeks.
Okay. So
It's usually a long time, but yeah.
I mean, Glass and Ash are accustomed to mods. I'm not, being on console primarily. Obviously, console has limited mods available. Now, initially, from reading in the news, I know Sony were very reluctant to allow Bethesda to have mods on the PS4, but Xbox were very warm and welcoming. Why do you think Sony were so reluctant?
Sony's image, like texture and sound format, is patented by Sony, and no one else uses it.
Yeah.
And if they allow people to use mods, they'd have to release that patent.
Right. Okay.
So that's why they're being very funny about letting people do anything with it. Don't understand why people can't use scripts, because it doesn't rely on audio or textures at all. But they're not letting people put scripts on it either.
Yeah.
It's just a flat out ban because they just don't trust people.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fair, I suppose.
The only thing you can do on PS4 is change things with current assets. So that's why stuff like the rebalance level list works. It just changes what enemies pull, like what pools from. And there's a very limited amount of mods on the PS4 because of the fact they can't bring in external assets.
No. Okay. I just wanted
the Xbox again.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump back to when you mentioned one of the first mods you install is stuff to patch out bugs and so on. Why do you think Bethesda struggles so much? They've got a bit of a reputation for bugs and and just general mess sometimes when they're released. I mean, I remember the original Skyrim on PS3, and once my save came to a certain point, I couldn't play it. It was unplayable.
The games are huge. Like, Skyrim's a massive game where you can pretty much do anything.
Yeah.
And Bethesda at the time, I don't think had a big team for Skyrim, because they split their teams up depending on they split the entirety of Bethesda up for each game. So while Skyrim was being worked on, at the same time people were working on Fallout 4, and so they were working on Fallout 4 and Skyrim at the same time.
Yeah.
Because they said they started working on Fallout 4 as soon as the last DLC of Fallout 3 came out, and at that time they were still working on Skyrim. And I think for the special edition now, they must have just been working on it for like the last maybe year, or something.
Yeah, well.
And
okay.
so they didn't have a dedicated team to patching anything out. They just updated it. So hardly any of the bugs have been patched. I don't think any of them have.
No, I don't think they have. But generally, I think it's just because the games are so large. I mean, obviously, it's a bit better now on the more advanced consoles and whatnot.
Yeah, the games are like, you see, Doom doesn't have many bugs because it's a lot more linear.
Yeah, because Fallout has the same issues as well. I mean,
Fallout 4 has tons of bugs.
Yeah.
It's really difficult for RPGs to know, because it's a game that encourages exploration, and that means you need a very big world, but your world needs to kind of be as tight as games like Doom. But a game like Doom, there's only like really one way to go, and the maps aren't that big. So it's just there's a lot of stuff happening.
Okay, so The Witcher, for example. I mean, I've not played it myself, but I know Ash.
There's less you can do in terms of movement.
But there's still a lot of famous bugs.
Yeah, there's some big bugs in The Witcher, but like some of the massive bugs for Skyrim is stuff like you were able to clip through the world just by like jumping on certain things.
Yeah.
In The Witcher, you can't really do that. There's no way to clip through. You can't jump up into high spaces. Like Skyrim's like famous for like random AI bugs as well, because I think the world space alone is so big, with all the dungeons, the amount of enemies that appear.
Yeah.
They can't test it all.
I mean, a big problem I had in Fallout 4 was the Silver Shroud mission. Got in there fine, activated the mission, went off, did it, came back, and as soon as I walked through that door, I fall through the world. And I'm reluctant to restart everything because my save is so deep and I didn't get to that mission till quite late on. So every time everything turns purple, I just fall through and I keep falling. It's just really, really frustrating.
I forget how I did it. I accidentally completed the Silver Shroud mission without doing it.
Yeah,
anyway. I don't know what happened with that. I went to the Silver Shroud radio thing and they just said, "Yeah, you've done it."
Yeah.
And they gave me it gave me the complete request. I was like, "Oh, good, thanks." What?
We realised we started discussing Fallout 4 instead of Skyrim.
Yeah,
I mean, we can talk about Fallout 4 another time.
From Skyrim anyway.
Skyrim.
Just for time's sake, because this is the first cast, so we want to keep it as compact as possible and get a flow going. So, massive news the last few weeks, obviously, is the Nintendo Switch. Otherwise codename NX. What are your thoughts?
I want it.
What's a Nintendo Switch?
I want it so badly. Jack, are you serious? You've never heard of Nintendo Switch?
I speak you no lies. I have no idea what this is. I have been working non-stop for the last 3 weeks.
Nintendo released this is
console.
New. Nintendo announced their new console.
Okay.
Basically, it's works off a gamepad again, like the Wii U. But you can plug it into a dock kind of thing.
Yeah.
While we're talking, Louise, you talk about it. I'll just get it up on Reddit for him.
I mean, tech-wise, Ash is probably more well-read in that sense, so I can't really talk about it much. But it's just it's sort of like what the Wii U should have been in some senses.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's what they want.
And they're going to start allowing third-party games on there now. So I think
not just allowing, they really promoting the third party. It's the first Nintendo console to have Bethesda back them.
Yeah.
Bethesda's back.
I think
Skyrim,
they need it though, and I think this is the console that will bring them back into the market seriously. Not that they never. The serious contenders were Xbox and PlayStation. That has been for years. They haven't for a long, long time. Well, since the 90s, really. I mean, the Wii was fine, but I felt the last two consoles have been a bit gimmicky rather than actual
Yeah, like the Nintendo Switch has its gimmick, that the fact that it's technically a portable home console.
Yeah.
And I've sent the link to the Reddit on Discord for the Jack to have a look at.
Oh, effort. Okay, fine. To the Reddit. This is the new source of news.
Yeah.
Basically. But one big thing, again, like in the trailer that you saw the new Breath of the Wild, which is the new Zelda game. That's something we didn't have the Wii U. They didn't have a standalone Zelda game except for the remasters of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. I think that affected sales. The only main series Mario game they had was 3D World, and people were looking for more things like Galaxy, Sunshine,
for the
and
Wii
Super
U?
Mario. Yeah, they didn't have a main series Mario or Zelda
Super
game.
Mario Maker. I say it counts. I think it's been more popular
I
than...
agree with Jack.
Yeah, no, it was a massive success, and that actually boosted the console things. But when you think of Nintendo 64 launched with Mario 64, the GameCube, after about a month of it coming out, had Super Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
And then the Wii had Galaxy 1 and 2, both massively acclaimed games.
So what are the specific gimmicks that are coming out with this Switch? Because, I mean, Nintendo never comes up without a gimmick. And I mean,
again,
this one...
The pad is portable, and the controller on the side clips off, and you can basically put it in a dock to play it on your TV, or you can take the actual pad out and keep playing the game in your hand at the same time. So you can any game that's on your TV is now portable.
Yeah.
So like Skyrim, the Skyrim Special Edition's announced for it. Let's go back to that. It was in the trailer.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's actually really cool.
Yeah. So now you can have Skyrim portable.
In the palm of your hands, praise
Play in
Talos!
your bed.
I see. So, like, the specific gimmicks of it, the main draw of it is that it is effectively a handheld console with the processing power of a tower console.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it is a tower console with a wireless transmission. That's a really cool idea.
The console is the pad.
Okay, so there's no
no one knows what if the dock is going to increase its specs. So when it's actually plugged into the dock and you play it on TV, if it's going to be more powerful. But I know NVIDIA developed for it, and NVIDIA developed a custom.
I was just going to say who was powering it. It's NVIDIA.
It's NVIDIA.
Because I think NVIDIA were actually going to join up with Microsoft, was it? But they didn't.
Yeah, but they said no.
They were like, no consoles for us, and then suddenly they power in the Nintendo.
Yeah, with a new custom graphics card for the Nintendo Switch, and like all of the big developers have said they're happy to develop for the Nintendo Switch as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nintendo need to do this. They need to allow third parties. I also like to see maybe some newer IPs as well, rather than, I mean, obviously Mario and Zelda, they're long-standing, titles to go to, but maybe with a new console, maybe some new games.
Hopefully they bring something new out.
Yeah.
Look, I'm always going to say it every single time, but it's not going to happen. I hope they bring out a new good Fire Emblem game. They're not going to do it, but I really hope. I've got to always hope.
I mean, this could be the console to do it.
Praise to Talos.
People really like playing Fire Emblem on the 3DS, didn't they? Like they like the feel of being able to have a portable thing. This could make it so you can play it on the TV.
So
take your
Pokemon
portable
games go on there then? So obviously you've got Moon and Sun coming out now.
Yeah. I want to see a good new, different Pokemon console game. Something like a new Pokemon Snap or something.
Oh god, yes.
This would be perfect for the Snap.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be perfect for, like, the Snap. They've announced as well, like, obviously, I think they've announced a new Splatoon for it. Or basically, they've half announced this in the trailer. The new Super Mario, don't know what it is, but they said there was a recent reveal. Apparently, it's supposed to be a lot more like 64 in terms of exploration and just being able to jump around and all of the movement. So they're bringing that back, and 64 was probably one of the most successful ones.
Yeah.
So they going back to what worked while still trying new things.
Yeah. Okay,
it's quite nice.
So I think that's a good point to end on now. So we've covered a lot of Skyrim, and probably will cover a lot of more Skyrim in future casts. We're going to aim for one a week, depending on everyone's schedules, but I've enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like, obviously, we'll have to come up with some new things. Maybe if people watching, leave in comments where you'd like to discuss anything throughout the week.
Yeah, I mean, we'll always discuss what's hot in the gaming world anyway, because
And obviously, there's the
people.
usual shill. Use the usual shill, remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes. If you want to, but yes, thank you for joining us. Ash, I don't know if you want to give us one last rendition.
Just one thing also remember, that apart from being a podcast, NerdHub is also a website. You can probably check out the link down below. Yes, I should
probably give that information. I will in future casts, I promise I'll get better.
Plenty of articles throughout the week as well for people to read. News is also posted on this if you want to have a gander.
Have a ganders. But Ash, do you want to do one last rendition of Talos Man for the audience?
I mean, we are the children of man. Talos is the true god of man, ascended from flesh to rule the realm of spirit. It's pretty much what I'm going to say right now. No.
Watch him rise into the ass of elves.
We literally could have done a cast of Talos Man for 30 minutes.
We could, if they ask for that, I am fine with doing that.
Okay, then.
We could all just do different people.
I mean, and deserve our praise you do, for we are one. We are assembled, and the 8 became 9. I mean, he walked among us, great Talos. Not as God, but as man.
Okay, I'm going to end it there. Thank you very much for listening.
Right, see ya.
And thanks, Glas and Ash. I'll catch you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
See ya.